talking about winning it this year. Jayson Tatum and the Boston Celtics won a title.
Yeah.
The most recent NBA champion. And, it's been this topic of debate. Jayson Tatum, Jaylen Brown, did they split them up? Who's a better player? Is he elite? Right? Now, Jayson Tatum says those conversations are over with. He goes, just being the topic of discussion of so many debates or whatever it is, can he lead a team? Is he a top 5 player? There's still a lot of things I guess they can debate, but now I've done something they can't debate. I've won a championship.
Absolutely.
Having that under my belt is obviously conversations to be had or whatever they want to say, but they always got to refer to me as an NBA champion. And then he dropped the mic and walked away. I added that last part. But the question is, the debate, Jayson Tatum says, of course, leads all the debate shows today because he says he's no longer worthy of debate. So, of course, let every show. But the question is, with this title, VJ, you are at times have been hard on Tatum.
Very.
Is the debate over his elite status done?
No. The debate's not over. One ring doesn't do that. What the one ring does do is it backs off the is he that guy? That proverbial question we always throw out there, is he a championship player? Is he that guy? The answer is yes. He is that guy. But as far as still debating whether you are elite, he had a great closeout game. But Jayson Tatum did not shoot well. He shot below 30% from the 3 in the finals. He shot below 40% from the field. He did not shoot well. He did the other things that a player needs to do when you're great to help your team win. The most the easiest example I always throw at people is people love to bring up Kobe Bryant's Game 7 against the Celtics. Or that 6 for 24 or something like that, right?
Sure.
But he has 16 rebounds. And I believe 7 or 8 of them were offensive, which gave his team additional possessions, which Ron Artest hits a 3 on. A huge 3. Derek Fisher hits a huge 3 on one of those possessions. Oh, goodness gracious, my phone. Sorry about that. But there is I'm not used to being in this time of day. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. But there is still debate, in my opinion, whether he is the elite guy, because you got to go win multiple championships. You and I were talking about this last week, that Boston now has to go repeat. One ring doesn't get it done. You got people questioning Denver. You got people questioning the Bucks. Hey, listen, the Bucks, that's 3-4 years ago, right? You got to go win it again, or it just kind of feels like all the injuries in the East, which neither one of us have used as an excuse. You're right. You still got to go beat who's on the court. You can't help guys aren't taking care of themselves or guys get hurt or things like that. You can't help that. You still got to go play.
Killing that was when they wiped the floor with the Dallas Mavericks.
With the Dallas Mavericks, right? And I thought Dallas, to be honest with you, I thought Dallas poured everything they had into the Western Conference run. And by the time they got to the finals, Luka's dragging his body to the finish line. He is. I'm glad his country didn't make the Olympics because I thought he should have sat out. You're young. You need to heal. The Olympics are here in 4 years in USA. You can stay here when the season's over and play it. You'll get a chance to play in the Olympics again. This isn't going to be Luka's only chance to represent his country. But with Jayson Tatum, now you got to go do it again. You got to go do it again, or it's going to look like just that 1 year, and people can point to games 1, 2, games 3, and 4. People can point to those games and say, hey, he didn't shoot well, he didn't play well, he had a great closeout game, but that's what you want. But at the end of the day, he is right. He does have a championship. He does have a ring. So that argument goes. One ring does make the argument go, but multiple rings is what puts you in the elite class. Think about why Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain don't get the love that they should really get when we start putting together these stupid-ass lists that we love to put together in sports talk TV and radio. Why, though? They both have what? One ring. They have their champions, but they only have one ring. Multiple rings will then really solidify Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, especially Tatum, because Brown is such a quiet guy. Tatum seems to be the front, like the front guy, and Jaylen Brown's the drummer, and Jayson Tatum is the lead singer. Right? They're both great in the band. You need them both, but everybody who sees everybody up front first. But who makes everything go? The beat, the bass line, the beat, the drum. So, nope, the debate's not over for elite status, but I do agree with him as far as championship and winner. He is a winner now. He is a champion now. You can't take that from him. He is 100% correct about that part.
Jayson Tatum is absolutely elite. Like, when you look now, you talk about greatest of all time level, That's where I get into the counting championships, because then you're quite literally splitting hairs, right? Like, you're debating some of the best to ever do it. Is Jayson Tatum in that category yet? No. He'll have to win multiple to be considered one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But for this era's NBA, he's definitely elite. And that NBA Finals MVP that he didn't win, I didn't have a problem with it going to Jaylen Brown. But also, it does look kind of funny when he leads the team in points, rebounds, and assists for the entire postseason and doesn't get the MVP. Only 6 people ever did that before. And tell me if these names interest you. Jokic, LeBron, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Larry Bird.
I think they play a little hoop.
I
think they ball a little bit.
Can I interest you in that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when you look at his numbers, when you compare them to other young players, right, all-time greats and then players in his era, I mean, he's made the playoffs all 7 years of his career, 5-time All-Star, 3-time All-NBA first team, at all this before 26.
Like 5 conference finals, if I'm not right? Like 4 or 5 conference finals and 2 NBA finals.
Well, let's see, they made 6 of the last 8. And then they made the conference finals the year before Tatum got there, so that's 6 conference finals.
So 6 conference finals, 2 finals, 1 championship.
He's first in playoff points scored for people under 26, past Kobe Bryant in that one. 4th in playoff wins. 4th in playoff wins for a guy that was like historically was like, oh, he can't get over the hump. It's like, well, he sure did win a hell of a lot of playoff games before not getting over the hump. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when you look at the other guys around him, like in his age group, Luka Doncic, you know, around the same age. Anthony Edwards a little bit younger, but still in that same group. Tyrese Halliburton, Zion Williamson. Like, I'm taking Tatum over just about all of those guys, save maybe Luka.
Except for Luka. I'm with you on that. I'll take Tatum.
And Tatum plays both sides of the ball.
I'll take Tatum over all those guys, especially Zion and Halliburton. Halliburton to me has not arrived yet. He's a really good player, but I don't think he's arrived yet. I got to see what happens next year. Once again, when the East is healthier, Philly just pushed all their chips in. They're going for it right now. So Indiana, I don't know if you're getting back to the conference finals. I really, the Knickerbockers got better. Boston's the defending champions. The Sixers have pushed they put all their money down at the table. They've pushed every chip they've had to the middle of the table. They're going for it right now.
Sure.
The Sixers got to win it. They got to get to the finals.
The whole East feels like the East is sweet. That's
why.
The
Exactly. Let's go get it now.
Top 4 or 5 teams in the East all feel like they have a shot to win a championship.
Yeah, let's go get it now.
That's why they're making the moves that they are. Now, but the thing about Tatum, when he's absolutely right about the championship, because it puts you in a different category. Remember in high school when you first got your driver's license? You remember the first person to get a car?
In my family or my friends?
No, in your class.
In my class.
Like your high school class. Remember the first few people that got cars?
Scott Peters.
You know what I'm saying?
Scott Peters.
And Scott Peters was the man.
He was. No, he was.
He was the man.
He was.
Whatever he was driving.
Yeah.
That thing, man, you may have had to pump the brake 3 times, roll the window down, and then it would start.
He had
but Scott Peters didn't have to call mom for a ride. He was the man.
He had an old white Nissan Sentra, if you remember that car.
Sure.
He had a 2-door. Remember back in the day, they used to take the big speakers and put them in the trunk? He had 2 12s in his trunk. And he had a detachable. He's the first one with the detachable face from the stereo. Scott dad was a Marine. He had a little money. So Scott got his car first before all of us. Before all of us. Yep.
Hey, Scott, can we go to the mall?
Yep.
You got $5 in gas money? Oh, you don't? All right, go ask your mama. Right? Charles Barkley got to ask his mama for a ride to the mall.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? There's a ton of great NBA players who never touched the ring. Right? Who never sniffed it. Yep. Right? Their one chance they got there got blown out the water. Jayson Tatum, for his credit, 2 finals apperances?
And he got 1.
1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
You know, so after that, I say it all the time about Michigan football. Hey, the ring still shines. That ring still shines.
Beautifully. Nice and bright.
And there's a whole lot of people that wishes that he was in this spot. And at 26, he's got a shot. If he continues on an upward trajectory to be one of the quote-unquote greatest of all time, like in that top echelon group, based off if he continues what he's doing now, I mean, think about it. If he has another 6 years like he had the last 6 years of his career, that would be, 6 NBA first teams, 10-time All-Star, right? Like, maybe a couple more championships or at least a couple playoff runs.
That'd be the 5 Eastern Conference Finals. That'd be 4 more. That'd be 4 more Finals appearances. Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if you duplicate it, right? I copy it exact over. And, of course, it doesn't work like that. But, when you're projecting outward, Jayson Tatum, I mean, he was all top. He's all NBA this year.
Yeah.
Right? In a year that we poo-pooed the Celtics for most of the year.
Yep.
You know, it's the only people who believed in Boston lived in Boston.
Yeah. Well, my thing is, I knew they were good. Boston was that team for me, and I said it the last 2 or 3 years. They have to win it for me to believe that they can win it because they keep getting to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then you get to the finals. You're up 2-1 on Steph and the Warriors. They're up 2-1. They go in, they score 40 points in the fourth quarter of Game 2. Then they hit 10 3-pointers that quarter, and they still Game 2 from Golden State, then go home and grab Game 3. They go up 2-1, and it's like, whoa, okay, here we go. And then they lose 3 in a row and get knocked out in 6. Steph just goes ballistic, and he won. You could tell Steph wanted it bad. But if he'd have finished his career with no ring, Stockton, Malone, Barkley, Ewing, Miller are the first guys that come to my mind.
Sure.
I would probably put him with Miller and Ewing if he'd have finished with no ring, but Barkley, I'm old enough to, he's my first NBA player star I've ever saw. My first NBA game was a Washington Bullets and 76er game in the old Landover Arena in Maryland. So
that dated you more than saying the first guy in the high school class had a Nissan Sentra.
Barkley, he was just a monster. Everybody knows he was the second best player on the original Dream Team. And then Stockton and Malone. Stockton's kind of by himself, leads all time in assists and steals. And then Malone was up there in scoring, top 3, top 2, number 2 scorer for a while before he started getting past. So if he'd have finished with no ring, he might could fit in that class. But guess what? He doesn't have to worry about trying to fit in that class because he's got the ring.
Absolutely fact. And again, shine it, baby, because that thing still shines.
They repeat? I know it's early. I know we don't care right now. We're going into the football season. They repeat.
We'll see.
We'll see, right?
We'll see. I think if you ask the question, do they have a shot to win 3 or 1, I'd lean closer to 1, but they should be the favorites this year.
Oh, wow. 3 or 1, you lean. Okay. I'm with you. I'm just, to me, I'm interested to see if Philly can stay on the floor. It could be interesting.